What is up, fellow bench warmers? Welcome to your Daily Fantasy Quickie. Hey guys, what's up? How are you guys doing? Today is another day of fantasy games. We had 8 games? 7?
I think nine games.
9 games today. Lots of games had players really performing, but a lot of games as well had fantasy managers excited because there were some returning players who played today. Let's start off with KD. Finally, Kevin Durant played.
He played, but he did not play in the first quarter. So I was thinking maybe there was a problem with his hamstring again because he wasn't actually at the bench at the beginning. Then he came in the second quarter, the middle of the second quarter. Then, everything was okay after that. He started after the second quarter. The second half. He started the red. So all was good. He looks good. He looks very good.
He played only 18 minutes, but he had 17 points and was perfect. Field goal. The only blemish, I guess, in this stat line is the 6 turnovers.
But you have to, the 6 turnovers. But you have to remember he played 18 minutes because he didn't play the whole first 15, 16 minutes of the game.
Yep.
So if he played around 8 or 9 of that would be 27, 28 minutes, which is enough for him to produce. The 6 turnovers, that's nothing. I don't think that's a problem.
Just
that won't be an issue.
Just some getting used to playing as well with new teammates as well, because since he last played, they've had some new
it's a different team.
They've had some new acquisitions, so at least fantasy managers can now use KD just in time for your fantasy playoffs. Another thing I noticed in the box score of the Nets, Lamarcus Aldridge had another good game. 22 points and 2 blocks, 3 rebounds and 2 assists. So not bad. 22 minutes.
Among the bigs in Brooklyn right now, it's Lamarcus who's probably the only really, really safe and really hold. The others have been good, like Blake Griffin has played better, but he's not playing every game. And then Jeff Green right now kind of is affected by Kevin Durant's entry with the usage and everything. DeAndre Jordan is out. Nick Claxton is not getting enough minutes. So even Alice Johnson is just here and there. So it's only Marcus Aldridge really that can be rostered among the bigs of Brooklyn. And he's good. He's doing very well.
Yeah, so if you were able to scoop him up, congratulations to you. Other players who returned, Bradley Beal. I'm another frustrated manager because I wasn't able to bring up Bradley Beal from the injured list. And Rui Hachimura returned. Of course, it was Bertans who was moved back to the bench, but still played well.
It's I think Bertans the bench is a little downgrade for him, but we still just depend on him for 3-point. So I'm okay with it. I'm okay. He had 5 3-pointers again today, or 6, something like that. So I think even off the bench, as long as he shoots well, he'll have enough 3-point attempts to be valuable. But the good thing there is Denny Abdiha, who continued to start over Garrison Matthews, even Beal and Rui Hachimura back. So this would be the starting 5 of the Wizards. So it's Westbrook, it's Beal, it's Abdiha at the small forward position, Rui Hachimura, and Alex Len, who is just a placeholder at center. And then you'll get Bertans off the bench. So among those players, I think Abdiha, Hachimura, Bertans, they could be 14-team league guys.
Yep.
They should be added.
So So those are the returning players. Rui Hachimura played okay, not as good as before he got injured, but it was good enough, I guess, for at least he is back. Another player who returned today is rookie Cole Anthony of the Orlando Magic.
Yes. And I have a good question for Cole Anthony.
What's the question? Okay.
Who do you gamble on? Cole Anthony or Killian Hayes? Because it's and both are rookies, both have the same team situation, everything is the same. So who do you want more among these two players? Because I've been getting that question. It's a good question. It's a very good question.
Yep, it is a good question. It's a great question, actually. I'd probably go with Cole Anthony.
Cole Anthony. That's your choice, Cole Anthony.
Yes. For the reason
why Cole Anthony?
For the reason that so far this season, at least the times he played, he seems better. I haven't really seen much of Killian Hayes to say that he's a good add. Plus, there's really not much player in Orlando, or at least no point guards there in Orlando who could help. So I think they would rely on him more. Killian Hayes, it's just more of uncertainty. I'm still not sure what I'm getting with Killian Hayes.
He had a great game the last game out, and everybody's like treating him as, I don't know, treating him as a must-add, must-play, and a great player all of a sudden. I'm just not convinced, but I do think, as I said, that this opportunity is there. But he's not like someone who can really be like suddenly maybe even a Darius Garland, maybe something like that. I don't think that's gonna happen. Cole Anthony, though, I think he's better overall than Killian Hayes. That's what I will say. In basketball in general, he's better. He's more ready than Killian Hayes. That's why I'm choosing Cole Anthony. I think he's a better player, period. I mean, he's just
he is talented. More. I think he is. So Cole Anthony is probably more NBA ready. The way I've seen him play, I think
I guess, yes.
He is more ready for the game, for the NBA game. Killian Hayes, we haven't seen, like, all rookies, and we've noticed this with pretty much every rookie who's had great games, great starts. Killian Hayes might have had just one good game, and maybe 2-3. After that, teams would know how he plays and adjust like they always do with these players, and that's where we can see how Killian Hayes will be moving forward.
The thing with Killian Hayes is the 4 steals. I'm sorry, not 3. It's the 4 steals, 2 blocks. Reality, I mean, he's averaging 0.2 blocks and 0.7 steals this year. So
that's the average. The averages is just a small. The sample size is just small. He's played 5, 6, 7 games. I don't think he even
9
played
games. 9 games.
10 games.
But it's like this. In 9 games this year, he has not stole a ball in 7 of the 9 games.
Yeah, but how many minutes has he played? I mean,
right?
Yeah, I just think the sample size is too small.
I mean, he's averaging 22 minutes a game.
Yeah,
but not getting a steal in 7 of those games out of 9.
I guess
it's kind of, I'm trending on believing that more than the 4 steals. Right?
I think it's more of a fluke. The 4 steals,
I think it's
4 steals is too much. If you can get 1 steal per game, that would be good enough, I guess.
Yes, agree with that.
4 steals is not sustainable. No one would be able to sustain 4 steals. But a steal a game would not be bad. And Cole Anthony is not a steals type or a defensive type of player. So if Killian Hayes would be able to show more defense in his game, then I'm pretty sure he'll be a better fantasy player moving forward, because we all know that the defensive stats are very valued in fantasy.
Yes.
The Cole Anthony is like he showed today. He can pass, he can rebound, he can score a bit. But that's pretty much it. The defense side, not too much to expect there. So there, Cole Anthony is back. So let's see what he didn't start. Many expected that he would start, but maybe they'll just ease him in to the rotation. But most likely he will overtake Michael Carter-Williams in that starting job. Another two veterans also returned. Tristan Thompson in Boston and played pretty well coming off the bench. He's been playing well actually, even before getting into COVID protocol.
He's playing decent. I won't say he's playing very well, but he's serviceable. He's serviceable this year for Boston. Even when Daniel Tace was there, he was okay. He's averaging basically what he did today. Around 8 points, around 9 rebounds, and not much steals and blocks. He had 3 blocks today, but that's a fluke. So overall, he's decent.
Yep,
and I have in our waiver wire this today, it's about big men, and I didn't put Tristan Thompson anymore because I already talked about him there in the returning players. But he is part of those players that, yes, is a decent big man that you can stream or you can add to your team if you're lacking rebounds.
Yeah,
that kind of a big man. So he's an okay player. I'm more concerned with Robert Williams.
Yeah, I was just going to ask. Robert Williams' game has dropped a bit, though still serviceable. Yes. Not to the level of how Nerlens Noel has been non-performing, but Robert Williams still performing, but not the exciting Robert Williams we all loved. Anything to be worried about?
I'm not in the sense worried. More of I expect a hit. I expect it. So I'm not worried because I know it will happen. Because Tristan Thompson will get 20 to 22 minutes. Robert Williams will get 25, 24 minutes. That's it. He's not going to get 32, 35 minutes like when Tristan Thompson was out. So that's expected. But okay, maybe he's not going to be top 30, top 40 anymore. But he's still going to be safely in the top 60 conversation, even with Tristan Thompson there, even in a timeshare situation. 8 points, 10 to 12 rebounds, 2 to 3 blocks. I think is very, very, very doable for him. So just expect a bump down. Expect a hit. So that's just how it is. We knew this was coming if Tristan comes back, and here we are. So
I guess. Well, the good news about Robert Williams is that he is in the starting lineup and he is not coming off the bench right now. I'm not sure if that's gonna stick because it's the first game of Tristan Thompson. But remember, before he went down with COVID protocol, Tristan Thompson was the primary starter in the Boston center position. So we'll see what happens there. But again, Tristan Thompson's back. Robert Williams will take a hit, but still, he probably won't be able. You won't drop him anyway. But do you think Robert Williams is still a better player to own than maybe Chris Boucher?
I think so. Because he has a role. I think
Chris Boucher has been starting,
but he has not played as well so far. Robert Williams is playing well. They're similar, but I think Boston is fighting for something. Toronto is kind of going nowhere. So with that, Robert Williams will be more motivated, I think, in my opinion. The games will matter more. There'll be more close games, which is good for him, than Chris Boucher. So they're very similar, but I'm going with a player who's hot. I'm going with the hot hand. If you're asking me, two players were pretty similar, pretty much the same, except maybe the 3-point shooting. I'm going to go with the players playing well. So I'm going to go with Robert Williams. And going forward too, I think Robert Williams is the better player.
All right. And the last player who came back today is John Wall. Well, John Wall has been in and out of the lineup. Although he had a stretch where he wasn't playing. Today, he played. He missed the last game. Did he miss the last game?
Yes, he missed 4 games, I think. Four straight. So this is his first game back.
Oh yeah.
And I like him back for KPJ, which is kind of ironic because right now at this point, I don't trust what KPJ will do with the ball in his hand. I'm afraid of those 10 turnover games. And
He had
today,
6 today.
Exactly, he had 6 and he's a shooting guard. If he starts and plays point guard and then doesn't have John Wall and those players, I don't know what will happen. So I might have to drop him if that's the case. I mean, I can't have 10 turnovers a game from someone like Kevin Porter, right? And he's not performing as like 25.7 assists kind of stats for that to happen. He's not Russell Westbrook,
Yep.
That's what I'm saying, right? So I hope Wall plays so that the ball will be removed from KPJ's hand a little bit.
I've seen John Wall's in a couple of leagues being dropped already. I don't know if it was just a bad timing wherein he was dropped and then he played today. But John Wall is still a hold, right? You don't drop John Wall.
You don't drop John Wall. No, you don't drop John Wall. He's playing now, so as long as he's playing, you don't drop John Wall. He had 31 points and 7 assists, I think, today. He's gonna be good as long as he plays.
Yep, he was vintage John Wall. He also had 4 steals and 7 assists and just 1 turnover. So that was really vintage John Wall. Showing us that he can still do it. He can still give you that good fantasy numbers. All right, let's move on to some of the questions that Komish posted. I guess some of the questions that have been asked on some forums or maybe asked personally to Komish. First, let's start with Jalen McDaniels. Right? Is it Jalen?
Jalen.
Yeah.
Not
Jalen
Jalen.
McDaniels of the Charlotte Hornets played center today. I think he started at center. Or started
at center.
Started. I think he started, but maybe it was PJ Washington who played center. But he started.
Well, I don't know who took the jump ball, but anyway, in the NBA nowadays, there's really no center, power forward, or whatever. Everybody just plays positionless basketball.
Yeah.
Especially in that lineup: Miles Bridges, PJ Washington, Jaden McDaniels.
But just to clear, Jaden does not have center eligibility in fantasy, so that's why I assumed that it wasn't him who was center. Anyway, Jalen McDaniels started and played really well. He had 21 points, I think, and many are asking if that game is real or fluke.
I haven't seen much of Jalen McDaniels, but I've been very intrigued by him for a long while. And when Gordon Hayward went down, I wanted to say that he's gonna be the guy who would be benefiting and who would take advantage, but he has a history of not really doing well with the minutes. So I'm gonna say fluke. But if he really is gonna start already and not off the bench, I think like Killian Hayes, like Cole Anthony, like Poku, like Maledon, they have warts. They're not perfect players, but if they get opportunity, just the sheer minutes that they will get, they will be able to produce. So for me, he's a young player that can be speculatively added to see if he can continue this. But I would not drop his brother Jaden over him. I know a lot of people are very frustrated with Jaden McDaniels because he was so hot for a while and then suddenly
he played okay today.
Again.
Okay.
But a lot of people are just saying that I'm so frustrated and so disappointed.
Yeah, because the blocks aren't there anymore. He's pretty much just scoring a bit and rebounding a bit.
But I like Jaden over Jalen. I mean, why don't their mother give them a? I mean, I get
imagine twins,
at
right?
their house.
Are they twins?
Like, no. One's older. I think Jalen is older. I mean, in the house, like Jalen, it's like what are you calling?
They sound alike.
Yeah. But I like Jaden, the Minnesota McDaniels over the Charlotte McDaniels more. Yeah. So I'm not gonna
But I
Makes a
just want to
switch.
go back to your point that he might get opportunity. The difference between him and maybe players like Killian Hayes or Cole Anthony is that the Charlotte Hornets are playing for something. I'm not sure if you know, but the Charlotte Hornets are number 4 in the East. So they're not a bad team. So even though with all those injuries that happened to them, their lineup seems like not a good lineup. If you look at the roster, they have a better record than the Atlanta Hawks, which probably has some more well-known players or more proven players, I guess, or hype players. But yeah, the Hornets are number 4, so opportunities, the window of opportunities is smaller than with Killian Hayes or Cole Anthony, because if he doesn't play well, he'll probably be benched already.
Yes.
And he hasn't been really playing as much.
He hasn't, and just look at the box scores. Just look at his just stats the whole season basically.
Yep.
He has not done much with minutes except today. Well, if that is because he played center, I don't know, or because he started with these guys PJ and Miles Bridges, maybe. So that's why I said if you have an open spot, then you can add. Then maybe add. If he's gonna play center, he's gonna get at least more rebounds, right? Yep. And he's probably gonna get a different looks compared to coming off the bench and playing small forward. So that's my take on Jalen McDaniels.
All right, I stand corrected. He does have center eligibility and power forward eligibility. So
that changes it.
Yeah. Center today, but his averages are for this season is 4.8 points, 2.2 rebounds. That's pretty much it, and the rest are insignificant numbers. So we'll see. I think we still need to see a bit more of him before I could say he is an ad. I will probably not drop any of my players who have proven that they can contribute already for him.
Yeah.
All right, another player who hasn't been contributing, Nerlens Noel. Always a frustration by fantasy owners. Is he a drop now at this point?
Nerlens Noel is... No one is more frustrated at Nerlens Noel than me. I owned him at the beginning. He didn't play well. I dropped him. He played well. I picked him up. He didn't play well. I dropped him. He didn't play well. He played well, and then I just can't get him right. But for me, he is not a drop, because I posted the numbers that he's doing right now with no Mitch Robinson. Yeah, 4.6 rebounds. That sucks. But the 1.2 steals and 2.4 blocks, well, you can't find that in the waiver wires. I mean, that's 3-point-something defensive stats combined. That's hard to find. So, I guess I'll just
I watched part of the game a while ago by New York, and he doesn't seem... I haven't really seen much of Nerlens Noel play, but today with what I watched, he doesn't seem as aggressive with the rebounds, even with the blocks. I mean, there were some times where he was already there, but someone got the rebound first. So I'm not sure if that's contributing to his the stats or the non-existence of those stats that we are expecting. But yeah.
Good point. And I mean, he's averaging 6.7 rebounds. If I tell you he's averaging 4 points, 10 rebounds, 1.2 steals, and 2 blocks, it changes things, right?
Yeah,
it's like,
definitely.
Hey, that's right. So
that's not bad. I mean, we don't expect Nerlens Noel to score. What we want from Nerlens Noel is to rebound and to block shots.
Yes. Correct.
We are hoping he would be a better version of Moses Brown, but right now, he is...
I was going there to Moses Brown. I think that's the next question, right?
Yeah, that's the next question. But let me ask you, Nerlens Noel or Moses Brown at this point?
Nerlens. I might go Nerlens Noel because Moses Brown. People don't know much about Moses Brown's game. They just saw the 2020 game and the double-double before halftime game, and they're like, "Whoa, this guy's good and big."
Yeah.
But we don't know if he shoots free throw well, which he doesn't. We don't know if he has an outside shot. He doesn't. And so people don't know much about him.
Nerlens is also not known for his scoring.
Yes, but he doesn't doesn't give you 2 out of 8 games. I haven't seen a game of Nerlens Noel that is 2 out of 8.
Yeah, well, true. The field goals are not as bad.
He doesn't take a lot of free throws to hurt your free throw. Moses Brown has been trying a lot of things with OKC. He's been given all the leeway to shoot, to do things, and he's being fouled. And it's kind of hurting my free throw percentage, actually.
Yeah, actually, there was one trade offer that was sent to me that was asked to me about Moses Brown. The manager's offering me Moses Brown. And the main reason he said, because the free throw sucks and I don't want that in my team. Not a good selling point, not really the best sales pitch there, but yeah, so you'll go with Nerlens.
I will go with Nerlens. I will go with Nerlens right now. You know Moses Brown, KPJ, the G boys, they're treading thin ice right now, guys. Couple more games, like if Moses continues this kind of performance, if KPJ gives me 7-8 turnovers a game, I'm gonna recommend a drop already for these guys.
Yeah, well, like you said, they
weather.
They were in G League for a reason.
Yeah.
And if they were really that good, they would have been in the NBA right from the start of the season. 2 more players who are rookies, and these 2 teammates of Moses Brown are performing pretty much better. Actually, I didn't expect Poku to be playing better than Moses Brown. I thought that Moses Brown would probably have more consistency in the stats that he would give me, but Pokusevski is playing well. And Maledon.
I agree with that. I didn't expect Poku really. And if you guys, like Jeremy, remembered in our draft night, I was one of the early Pokusevski lovers. I drafted him. I can say I drafted him in.
Yeah, you picked him for $5, I think.
Yeah, $5 or $6. I picked him because I had a feeling.
I also remember that draft wherein we were just shocked. Are you serious? Like he was nominated for. We all thought he was nominated so that players would bid and players would waste money on him. But no, Commish really wanted him.
Yeah, I wanted him because I've seen his. I'm a NBA draft lover. PBA draft, NBA draft, all drafts, even NFL drafts. I love it. So I really look at the players and I saw him and I was so intrigued. I mean, what is Jeremy on stick? I mean, this is 7-foot Jeremy Tan. So thin. So I was like, okay, he could shoot, he could block, he's athletic. So I said, this guy might translate well in the NBA. And it didn't happen. But the G League really did him good. And right now he's playing, you're correct, he's playing better than them, which I did not expect.
I mean, the field goals are getting better. It was really bad early on. Now it's trending in a better direction. He is not, though he is really as thin as at one point. There was I think the notes read that he got injured. I think his back hurt a bit after one dunk or something. And with that type of body, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if he hurt himself while dunking or taking a shot.
He did again today.
Yeah, he dunked. That's what I was referring to.
He hit his hip. Oh, I thought you were referring to the other game. Because
No,
it
no,
happened
no.
also the other game. This
The
is
one
like the
I read
second or
was
third
for
time
today.
Oh, he had this same situation the other time. The other
Oh,
game, he dunked and he fell on his back or something, I think.
yeah.
And
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. The
it
one I
kind of
read
hurt
was the
him.
one
Also
today.
went to the locker room. So, and he looks like a scientist or a nerd guy, or but he's playing well. He should be added. Theo Maledon should be added. And for me, in OKC right now, these two would probably be the top option over Moses Brown.
Yeah.
The two of them. They're the only must roster at this point.
And they will get tons of opportunities there with that type of lineup. So yeah, there. The last intriguing question right now is about Giannis Antetokounmpo. What's up with Giannis? Any news?
Oh, that one. That one is a mystery. He's doubtful, by the way, for tomorrow's game. I think he's not gonna play again. The last update is that Coach Bud has said that it's nothing serious. It's just that they want to be cautious. But he did say that it's really bothering him. He got hurt, I think, in a game last March. One game he got hurt. He was playing through it, but it's getting worse and worse. So this is kind of scary. I expect some more missed games. He has missed 4 of the last games, guys. He has played, missed. So this is something to monitor, because if this continues, it's gonna hurt. I mean, a lot of people are gonna be angry. Harden owners, LeBron owners, Giannis owners, everything is going downward for first rounders.
Yeah, it's not, we're not raising this to scare you guys, but it's something that we should monitor moving forward. What happens to Giannis moving forward, because he's your top pick, and every time anything goes wrong with your top pick, we'll be worried, because you've invested a lot of effort and time, to make sure that your teams make it to the playoffs, and then in the last few weeks your top pick goes down. That could really hurt your chances. So yeah, something to monitor. Not really something to scare you guys, but something to monitor the situation moving forward. All right, let's move on to our waiver wire specials. Tony Bradley, another OKC stalwart center. He has been time sharing with Moses Brown.
Yes. And he started really slowly but surely getting the minutes for Moses Brown. The numbers of Tristan Thompson, that's the numbers of Tony Bradley. Exactly the numbers of Tony Bradley. Plus, but he has blocks. He has more consistent blocks. So you should go add him. I've added him in some leagues in 14 teams. I'm talking about 14 teams, not 12 teams. I've added him some 14 team leagues because it's gonna help me in those big man categories, big man stats.
And he is young. Even though he looks old, he is a young player. He is, I think, in his early 20s or mid 20s. Not really a very old player that would not be played or that would be rested. So he is pretty much on the same playing field or level with Moses Brown, but might be a better option because he won't hurt you in certain categories. So Tony Bradley is our waiver wire special. Cody Zeller is back here in our waiver wire special.
He's playing very well also he's a indirect beneficiary of Gordon Hayward's injury. He's almost averaging a double-double the games that Gordon Hayward since Gordon Hayward got injured, around 13 points, around 8 rebounds. And of course, he's good free throw shooter for a big man.
Yep.
So Cody Zeller is also an ad. He's only 11% owned. He's now the 6th man in the team, which is good for him because he's becoming the top option of the bench. The offense goes through him. So I think he should be more added in more leagues than 11% of Yahoo leagues.
All right, so Cody Zeller is back. Hopefully he is back for good because he has been good, and then he has some stretches where in the next the next phase in the cycle of Cody Zeller is that he plays well, and then
gets injured.
he gets injured.
Yeah.
Then he gets dropped, and then he comes back, plays well, and then the cycle goes on. So that's the story of Cody Zeller. But for now, you can ride him while he is hot. Mo Bamba, another center in the Orlando Magic, playing well. Another, we've been talking a lot about centers.
Yes, this is
here.
a centers edition.
Yeah. And throughout the season, I think it's mostly a lot of centers that have been in and out of these quickies. Mo Bamba is...
Mo Bamba is a low-end player, but he has taken over the backup center position. So the 11.5 rebounds is nothing much, but at 1.5 2 blocks, that's something that is interesting for me. And in very deep leagues, I think he should be added also. He should be rostered. Maybe 16 and up. 14 depends on your team. If you're really in need of blocks, yes, I think he can be added.
You can maybe stream as well. You can stream his slot and see how far he gets you. And the last center is Goga Bitadze. The replacement of Miles Turner. Any news on when Miles Turner will be back? Or is he day-to-day? Let me just check.
He's game time decision day-to-day, but it looks like it's going to be a while. I don't know the name of their coach, Nate Brogdon or whatever. How do you pronounce the name of their coach? He said that he's more sure about Sabonis coming back soon than Miles Turner, which is expected since Miles kind of sprained it bad. So I think Goga, if you added him, don't drop him yet. Keep him until you get the news that Miles is coming back.
Yeah, he played well today. I think he had 14 points, and let me just check on the stats.
3 rebounds, 5 assists, and I think a steal or 2 in a block, something like that.
He had 14 points, 5 rebounds, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, a steal, and a block. Yes, and he also had 2 3-pointers to add to that. So yeah, that's a waiver wire special of our waiver wire special for this quickie all centers. Let's talk just briefly about some of these big risers. We move on to the guards. Chris Paul played really very well. He, especially the clutch, fourth quarter was great. I watched the game. Fourth quarter, he was great. He was taking over the game pretty much.
I have one question for you. People have said that our Rozier and CP3 debate is over. So is that how you feel, or do you think like, nah, it's still, Rozier can still give a fight in that debate?
Okay, we all know that CP3 is, maybe the far superior fantasy player. Okay.
Yeah.
The difference, I guess, is that many, or even us, were surprised of how Terry Rozier was this year. And we never expected him to be at the level wherein he is top 30, right? He's playing well. The thing with CP3 is that he's had one great game actually. But over the course of the season, CP3 has been up and down in the scoring. He has maybe, I'd say, regressed a bit from the old CP3 because he's had some games wherein he hasn't scored much. The efficiency is still there, but I wouldn't say the gap is too big right now between him and Terry Rozier. Rozier is still solid. I don't think the peak of Rozier though would be the peak of they have the same peak. I think the potential, even though CP3 is old, the potential of him doing this on a regular basis is still there. I don't think Terry Rozier would be able to do this on a consistent basis, just because Terry Rozier is more of a scorer, not a facilitator. So I think it's I think it's really CP3, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's not as wide as we think the gap is.
Yes, and we were choosing Rozier in some instances because we were afraid of the blowouts for Phoenix, and today it wasn't a blowout because it was a Utah versus Phoenix kind of championship game. So we have to remind our listeners that. But still, Chris Paul really good.
No,
really
and
good.
another thing that when we debated on that, the one thing that we had to consider was that assuming you were in fantasy playoffs.
Yes.
And if your fantasy playoffs is in week 19, 20, rest comes into play. We all know that.
Mm-hmm.
And the chances of getting rest would be on the side of Chris Paul and not really on Rozier. So I think that's one thing to consider. But overall, the stats that they give, CP3 I think is still the better player. But again, it's not as wide of a gap as we all think. And the averages show that CP3 I think is top 26, 24, like that, and Terry Rozier is top 28. So it's not as far as wide a gap as their draft position. Let's just put it at that.
Yes. Agree.
Chris Paul was 3rd round. Rozier was probably 10th, 11th, 12th round. It won't be that far of a gap. So there. And the last two, Donovan Mitchell played well once again. Missed a crucial free throw, but played okay. TJ McCollum was a stud once again. Played 34 minutes, I think.
Yes.
And had
34 minutes, 19 points, 15 assists, I think, something like that.
Yeah.
And for me, one last thing for this quickie, Donovan Mitchell, as I said, this is the moment, this is the time during fantasy season that you would appreciate drafting Donovan Mitchell or having him in your team. Because when you open your Yahoo accounts, your teams, you would see him there. You would never see a GTD, you would never see a O, you never see a IL beside his name. And you right now, so many people are just really tapping out with the injuries. That's the best asset a player can have.
Yeah, so, the health and durability of the players. All right. That's it for this lengthy quickie. I apologize for turning off my camera every now and then because I haven't been feeling well. There's some case of allergy going on, but we'll be better tomorrow. We'll see you again.
Jeremy's in COVID protocols.
No, don't say that. People might be worried and concerned. But no, I'm not in COVID protocols. Just allergic rhinitis I'm having today. I'll be better tomorrow. All right. We'll see you guys. Hey, by the way, we're looking for someone to join us next week for a live session with our followers or some of our group members. Let's talk, get to know each other, and do some Q&A. So just comment on the post I made. We'll contact you. I know there might be a lot who will sign up for it, but we will just accommodate one per live Q&A. So that we can get to talk more and converse more. So, but we will let you know and line you up in a succeeding Q&As. All right. We'll see you again tomorrow, guys, on our Daily Fantasy Quickie. Bye.
Bye.